Namaskar, I am Dr. Manaan Gandhi from Dr. Gandhi's Ayurveda clinic. Today we are going to talk about mental health. Mental health is such a vast subject with so many different, unique, interesting yet scary diseases. But today we will not go into the specifics. I will merely give you an overview while also trying to explain things that you probably did not know that were present in Ayurveda but is not available in common knowledge. There are 7 tissues in Ayurveda: Rasa, Rakta, Mansa, Meda, Asthi, Majja, Shukra. We will focus only on the second one, which is Rakta or blood. Why are we focusing on blood? It's because the function of Rakta Dhatu or of blood is Jivan. Jivan means enthusiasm, spunk, spark, zest, zeal, utsaha. And that is what we are going to talk about today. We will talk about one aspect of mental health, which is depression. And depression is merely the lack of enthusiasm, the lack of utsaha, the lack of the passion, the lack of zeal, the lack of the desire to do anything. This definitely is a mental issue but has physical reasons of why it can occur. And the reason is the blood getting affected. Now, how does the blood get affected in the first place? In Ayurveda, blood is produced by the liver using the red bone marrow, which means if you were working in a factory, the liver would be the supervisor, whereas the red bone marrow would be the workers manufacturing the blood. If, for example, the supervisor is drunk, lying in a corner and not working well, would you expect the product to be good or the workers to work in an orderly, timely fashion? No. Similarly, if the liver gets affected, the blood that is produced is not of good quality, and that really affects not only the physical well-being but more importantly the mental well-being, because Rakta, as I said, is responsible for your enthusiasm. This leads to depression. Most of the time the patients that have come to me, they've come to me with a lot of depression problems and they expect me to give them medicines for the mind. They expect me to tell them something that will uplift them temporarily or that will solve the problem. But they fail to understand that the physical body is also responsible for this. Not that mind is not to be treated, but the body is also not to be ignored. I always give a very simple example. Let's say a young child is crying, is throwing a tantrum, getting a hissy fit about a non-issue because he is in distress. Why is he in distress? Because he is hungry. So how much counseling is required? What psychological treatment is required? Nothing. You give him 2 morsels of food, his distress goes away and he is again happy, he is laughing, and the issue that he'd made out of a non-issue again becomes a non-issue. Similarly, the body has a very significant impact on the mind. Not that the body is the only factor responsible, but it is definitely a very important factor. And most patients suffering from any sort of mental illness always ignore the bodily part. And a lot of therapists, a lot of psychiatrists, a lot of psychological counselors also ignore the bodily aspect. So in Ayurveda, we treat the liver, we treat the blood, we treat the vaat dosh, and we also obviously treat the mind while counseling. We work on all 4 factors: Ahar, which is diet; Vihar, which means your surroundings; Achar, which means your regimen; and Vichar, which means your thoughts. Because we understand that real holistic treatment can only occur when everything is taken into account and you are like a spider in the middle and treatment comes from all sides. You have the best chance of coming out using that. So what are the things that you can do? There's definitely medicines, but there are certain very, very effective therapies that can be done. Things like Shirodhara, where they pour oil on the forehead. Very relaxing, very calming. But more importantly, what it does, it basically takes care of the hypothalamo-thyroid adrenal axis, and neutralizing that axis is very, very important for any patient suffering from any sort of mental illness. There are other therapies like Nasya, where we use nasal instillations. How are they helpful? Ayurveda has explained this very clearly. Nasahi shirso dwaram, which means the nose is the gateway to the mind. So when you use herbs, when you use things like Brahmi, Jatamansi, Mandukaparani, and many other such beautiful herbs, take them into nasal instillations, they work beautifully. And there are so much more that you can do in Ayurveda that can really transform, help, take over, and even simply supplement the treatment that you're currently undertaking for mental illness. You must give this a try, otherwise you'll be doing yourself a lot of injustice. If you like such kind of videos, if you like this one, please click on the like button. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see more such videos. You can even press the bell icon to get notifications as soon as a new video is posted up. And if you want to reach out to me, you can always type in a comment, ask me a question, I'll be happy to answer. This is Dr. Manaan Gandhi from Dr. Gandhi's Ayurveda Clinic. Thank you.